My contract's up, so finally I'm allowed to do things that I couldn't do before.
Rules on the Spider-Man set are to be taken the most seriously. Zendaya broke one once and it got her sent off the set.
We got in trouble, Jacob and I.
From having to do huge press tours to restricting water intake, not being allowed to play certain sports while on contract, being part of this franchise has been no picnic. Number 1. Sorry, where are you from? His American accent is so good that sometimes we completely forget he's actually British and really has pretty much as dreamy an accent as you can find. Zendaya knows what we're talking about.
Your favourite one is, I say, yeah, he was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah, funny one-y.
Considering he did cost the studio extra when he accidentally slipped into his natural accent in a prior film, it's no surprise he'd be extra on the ball and going full American Peter Parker.
Like a grandmother.
Oh my god, that's so English.
Yeah, like a grandmother.
Like a grandmother, darling.
Number 2, just because she was playing a lead didn't mean she got to be on set whenever she wanted. The actress was actually specifically called out for hanging around on set even when she wasn't filming.
There's the door.
There was a day that I was told, because I was going to set every day, and I was told by the producers, hey, just don't come for a couple days, because John's a little bit behind, we don't want any distractions.
Zendaya obeyed for a while, but what she saw when she came back was pretty tough to swallow.
I walk in, the producers, the actors.
This
Jamie has
man.
started a party.
On set.
Everybody's dancing to Rihanna.
Seems the rule about not being a distraction didn't really apply to everyone in this case.
So I wasn't allowed to come to work because there was a distraction. And then I come in and everybody's having a dance party?
Yeah, that was rude.
It absolutely was rude. How dare you not invite Zendaya to the party? Number 3.
You know, honestly, I think that I don't want to lose my job. So I think if anything, I'm good at like not wanting to ruin my career.
Wanting to get hired back is a pretty good reason to not let any spoilers slip during press interviews.
And who's the worst?
Is that even a question?
Yeah.
Is it me?
While everyone tries hard, Spider-Man himself famously struggles.
It's honestly a miracle they let me on a live TV.
As often as he may have accidentally shared some secret details from the set, it's always been for an innocent reason.
Here's the thing, it's not that he's bad at TV secret.
Thank
He just gets
you.
really
Thank
excited
you.
to share the fun things that are happening.
Number 4. We'll have Tom's people call your people.
Okay, so we are about to kick off the Spider-Man No Way Home press tour, and where better to do that than in Paris?
The work is far from over for this crew once the cameras stop rolling. That's because the film starts rolling again in interview studios while journalists capture all the info possible about the movie.
I'm a bit under the weather today, so I could have used an extra hour in bed.
Whether they like it or not, it's a no questions asked part of the gig.
It definitely takes a long time to get used to, and I gotta be honest, I still don't think it's something that I'm used to.
Number 5. Being a hero off screen takes special skills.
It's super crazy.
Spoiler sense.
That's what it is. I've got a good spoiler
You gotta
sense
develop
now.
it.
No matter how they're feeling, when the studio requires these actors to be on, they've got to show up. Tom Holland is a superhero on screen, but that can't happen unless he behaves the same way in real life, which can be particularly tricky when it comes to pushier journalists.
Just developed an ability to spot tactics from journalists trying to get stuff out of us.
Real talk. They have absolutely nailed their spoiler sense in the No Way Home press tour.
What was the funniest Spider-Man scene to shoot?
I can't say. The funniest day,
You can't say that was
I
crazy.
can't say.
The most heartwarming scene.
I know. We all know. Are you really thinking about this?
Well, no, I'm trying to think.
hurtful.
I'm trying to think of
know,
a scene that
dude.
I can talk about.
Oh, I can't speak on that, can I?
Yeah, it's tough.
Solid work, team. Number 6. What's that smell? A 3-week-old Spidey suit, and it's not cute.
It's stunning.
The fact is, having to wear the Spidey spandex for about 80% of filming made for a very sweaty time. The whole staying in costume at all times rule was especially brutal the last 5 weeks of filming since Holland sported the look the entire time.
I think the worst thing about playing Spider-Man is the lack of toilet breaks I get. Because the suit is so tight,
Right.
and we all know how long it takes me to take it on and off.
It's not just Holland affected by the all costumes all the time rule though. It provides a whole lot of extra work for the costume department too.
I will wear a suit and I'll wear that suit for 3 weeks and then I'll have to build a new suit because it gets torn to pieces. And my poor costumer every time it's a new suit is like, I'm really sorry. Because putting a new one on takes ages.
Number 7. Wake up, work, go home, repeat. Holland has a major responsibility as the one who gets to play the Peter Parker, and while it's not officially in his contract, the actor has to consider how he spends his time off set very carefully.
That's the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. I've been very careful over the years with what I've been doing outside of work, which is why I've become obsessed with golf, because it's the only sport I can play without getting injured.
An injury would cause filming delays, which would then cause a very upset production studio.
My contract's up. Finally, I'm allowed to do things that I couldn't do before. As soon as I finished, I went snowboarding. I have an amazing photo of me FaceTiming you with blood all over my face.
I answered the phone, you just covered in blood. I was like, what are you doing?
Everyone was like, wipe it off. I was like, no, I look cool.
Number 8. Yo, what do you lift, bro?
This one's for you, Dad.
He needs to be a great actor and a full-time athlete. Before even getting to set, Super Tom hits the gym to get into the right headspace and energy to Spider-Man all day.
I mean, when I say there's like blood, sweat and tears, I'm not exaggerating. Making these films is incredibly tough.
It makes sense. After all, how awkward would it be if Spider-Man wasn't actually able to, spider? Number 9. Some days, he's just gotta be Spidey all the time. Since Holland's Spider-Man head is a complicated setup, including a helmet rigged up with hot battery packs and cooling fans that never actually work, he's not allowed to take it off to eat or drink on set.
There's a hole underneath the eye socket where we used to be able to feed a tube down, and I could drink without taking the suit off.
This Frappuccino snap is actually a great reminder of the fact that Spider-Man isn't all superhero all the time.
Milk and sugar.
We're talking about the same zip, right? A toilet.
Number 10. Staying hydrated, drinking your 8 cups a day. However you look at it, drinking water regularly is important, but it's a big no-go for Tom Holland. The Spidey suit is simply too tricky to change in and out of quickly enough, so needing to go to the bathroom as infrequently as possible was the key to success. Even after multiple successful films, the production team hasn't tried to make this tricky rule any easier to deal with.
And I asked for a zip, and I didn't get one.
Number 11. No voice, no choice. Yikes. No doubt these actors know their characters extremely well, and while this brings a lot to the table, at the end of the day, there really is just one head honcho.
John is great at being collaborative.
Yeah,
He always
fantastic.
wants our input and our thoughts, which is really special. But I also think that he kind of already had a master plan.
In the end of it, no matter how the actors feel, they've got to say those words they're given. Luckily, the creative team makes such solid choices that it's pretty easy to obey this rule. Number 12. You get a mask, and you get a mask, and you get a mask.
The Spider-Man mask does not count as PPE, so I have to wear 2 masks.
It wasn't just Spider-Man's face who was hidden behind a mask. The whole global pandemic thing meant everyone was in masks all the time.
We get tested every day. We have a great team of people, the COVID team who are there testing us. They've done a fantastic job.
All this, plus social distancing and a light safety system, all of course added time to the production, but ultimately, it was what needed to happen to make sure this movie got made. We have gotta give this crew credit. Their commitment level is through the roof, but hey, that's what it takes to be a model superhero on and off screen. Rule number 5. Remember,